Lomachenko, he gets. I say last night. I don't know what time it ended up being. It was yesterday morning, possibly over here.
Super early, yeah.
Late night or early morning for you guys, but over in Australia it would have been evening time, Sunday. I guess.
yeah, it was like afternoon.
Yeah.
Either way, Lomachenko got the job done. Unfortunately, I've not been able to see this and not caught highlights. I was going to try and catch them today, but I've been super busy. So, Alex, I know you put some scores in. I can't remember if you did. I think you did, Josh. Yeah, you did. Yep. So you've both seen this fight. We'll start with you, Alex. Lomachenko's back. He seems to have put in a decent display from all accounts. Talk us through it and what this means going forward.
I think it's a bit similar what I spoke with Canelo, up there in age, different type of mileage, right? A lot of amateur miles, and has been matched, at a pretty high level through basically almost all his fights as a professional. 36 years old, coming off of a year layoff. You just never know what you're going to see. And, I got to give it to Kambosos. Nice body attack, especially in the beginning, round 1. I think round 6, he had a very nice flurry as well. I thought that maybe he had Lomachenko a little weary in round 6. Other than that, it was a Lomachenko showcase. Obviously the punch placement, the IQ, and then once he got in the groove, I think what most people love to see is with that fluid footwork. He's a little slower, not as quick on the trigger as he used to be, but still one of the best fighters in the division. Dominates a former unified champion that people are calling, maybe the newest Buster Douglas, I guess of this current generation. Can't take it away from Kambosos. He's been a tough guy. I think 6 of his last 7. I think, 6 of his last 7 fights have been against former current champions.
Yeah.
And that's not easy. Not many guys, of course, don't get the opportunity, but actually take the fights. So Kambosos, he was tough, but just proved, toughness doesn't get you through fights. Get stopped with a, they actually missed a knockdown. He hit him with a clean left hand, step out clean left hand. They call it a slip, gets up, drops into the body, gets him back up and stops him, as the corner throws in the towel, his father. Kambosos, unsure what happens to him in the future, but Lomachenko, I'm going to start calling for it. Tank Davis, that's the fight we want to see. That's Lomachenko. I don't care if he's 36 years old. I don't care if 7 years ago they were saying that Tank's been ducking for 7 years, or Lomachenko, isn't the same fighter. It's still 2 of the best. Obviously, I think it's 3-headed monster at 135. Lomachenko, Tank, and Shakur. Currently, Shakur and Lomachenko are on the same side, but once Shakur fights July 6th, it's going to become a free agent. It's going to be really interesting what happens, but it seems penciled in already is Emmanuel Navarrete versus Denis Berinchyk winner. Just what promoters do, keep it in-house. If it makes business, it makes sense to them, unfortunately.
All right. Josh, your thoughts on this one then?
Yeah, I had been telling everybody I could see, mainly telling myself, that Lomachenko should be able to dissect Kambosos, and that's what he was able to do. So usually when he's coming off of a loss, he comes back and he destroys the opponent that he faces. And we saw a bit of that Lomachenko, as Alex mentioned, maybe a little bit slower. But that being said, that footwork was still outstanding, some of the best in boxing, and you can see that right off the jump. So I think that Lomachenko still has a good deal left in the tank, and we know he goes at it in training and brings out the best of himself and always comes in as a professional, in shape and ready to go a full 12, essentially. Now, I was thinking that Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson would likely be one of the fights that would happen, and that would be sort of the big one as far as 2 top-level boxers, excellent skills going at it. But I do like the idea of that Tank Davis fight, as Alex mentioned, even though, yes, we have been talking about it for a number of years. But, hey, lo and behold, Tank is still at 135, at least for now. So that would be a very good one right there, because even at 36, Lomachenko still possesses a lot of the tools that would make it very interesting in a contest with Tank Davis. And while we've seen at times Lomachenko get hurt slightly and dropped, we definitely would be, or it would be intriguing just to see how he deals with the power of Tank. And it'd also be intriguing to see how Tank deals with the guy with such the skill and footwork as Lomachenko, because I think that will be a true testament and test to just how good he is, because usually in contests of that nature, you see the younger fighter expected to be kind of that top level or great fighter. They have that youth on their side, and that usually helps them prevail. But hey, you never know. The wily veteran in Lomachenko, which is crazy when you really think about it, considering that he has less fights than Tank, if I'm not mistaken. But Lomachenko is no doubt the more wily veteran of the bunch, and it will be interesting. He has some tricks up the sleeve that I think would make Tank work in a way that he hasn't had to in any of the contests that he's previously been in. So that's one I definitely want to see. Hopefully we can make that happen. But as Alex did throw out there in terms of the promotional situation, yeah, that could be something that dictates or kind of throws a wrench into things. And I didn't know that Shakur Stevenson was going to be a free agent after this fight, so that'll be very interesting for sure. But yeah, in all likelihood, I haven't heard anything saying that he dislikes Top Rank or what's going on over there, so maybe he signs right back with them. We will see, but I'm going to keep my eyes open for sure, because I do want to see him in there with another top level guy as well.
Okay. Excellent stuff. I did the same thing again now, by the way. Kept Alex as the big green screen. Sorry. I'll get used to it one day. Too many screens going on. Thanks for that. Well, I've got a couple of who was it? Someone mentioned about Lomachenko earlier on, asking how we'd be able to deal with Tank, I think it was. And you also mentioned Shakur Stevenson. I know he's been making noises on social media. Seems to bring the fight on social media rather than when he's in the ring. But who do you think comes out on top out of those three? You know, if those three kind of did manage to get around to fighting each other, who would you pick? Alex, go. Alex.
I mean, Loma versus Tank. The one thing everyone talks about, like within Team Tank, is no one's ever made him bring out the best of him. Lomachenko is such a smart fighter. I think it would force that upon Tank, and we'll have to see him play high speed chess. And I would love to. That's one of the main reasons why I want to see. I want to see Tank having to think faster than he ever has. But I think, you know, with his obvious skills and his punch precision with power, I think he will knock out Lomachenko. You know, it's just the thing about Loma. I think we've seen it so many times. It's, you know, those first few rounds, you know, they can be, you know, either or to either fighter, and then that late fight surge he always brings. I mean, that's what led to this stoppage. That's what led to his best rounds against Haney, against Jermaine Ortiz, against Teofimo Lopez, and even against another loss he had against Orlando Salido. So will Tank give him that opportunity, or will he spark him out? Or can Loma, with his IQ, be able to lash through that power? And then we really have to see what Tank's made out of. I think Tank is skilled enough to beat Loma, even at this stage. But let's fuck around and find out. Against Shakur, I think Shakur, same thing. I think Loma's going to hit him when he's expected not to be hit. But I think just with his reflexes, with his quickness, and also a very high IQ, be able to outpoint Lomachenko. But let's fuck around and see.
Yeah. And what about Shakur versus Tank?
Oof. Man. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I'm just going to roll with Shakur. No reason given.
That's fine. See, for me, I've always been a Tank Davis fan from the get-go, when all these guys were coming up and undefeated and whatnot. And I'm still going to maintain that if they ever fought, I'm going to back Tank to win the lot. But what do you say, Josh?
I think Shakur Stevenson comes out on top. Cream of the crop right there, as far as I'm concerned. And hopefully we get a combination of all those three guys taking on each other in some capacity.